Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. It's the Kevin Jackson Show. KJRadio.com. If you want to call the show, 844-551-8255. Let me tell you, when the bow breaks, the cradle will fall. Are you watching the crybabies? We'll talk more about the crybabies on the left a lot during the broadcast. But are you watching these folks? Are you watching what's going on right now as everything that they have done starts to unwind? Wow. This is fun to watch. Elizabeth Warren's in the news. She's talking about sexual assault. They have this thing called Me Too, this project. We'll talk about that a little bit later. The dossier. The noose tightens around the Clintons' necks. The dossier. Russian spies. Collusion. Conspiracy. And you know where it all leads back to? Barack Obama's administration. What have we talked about? When the bow breaks, baby, the cradle will fall. Down will come baby, cradle and all. And these babies are about to get a lesson in political shenanigans that they've never. You know what's so bad? Right now, these guys who have told us Donald Trump has been colluding with the enemy. Putin is Dr. Evil. He's been colluding with him. He's been trying to do evil things. And then we find out, holy cow, the Clintons sold Dr. Evil 20% of our uranium, the capacity to make war. You gave fissionable nuclear material, well, he can make it into that, to Dr. Evil. How do you come back from that? You know what they say? Oh, well, you know what? Putin's maybe not quite as evil as we said, and we needed to make this deal. This was a good deal for America. You're laughing at me. You're going, Kevin, no way. Yeah, watch the spin. Watch the spin over the next month as they try to save themselves when the bow breaks. Watch these leftists tell you Putin's not so bad. This deal, when it was being brokered, we had a different relationship with Russia. Does anybody remember when Barack Obama said to Medvedev, hey, things will be different when I'm reelected? See, all this deal was already in the works. Now, for most people, what the Obama administration did would rise to the level of treason. We're talking about somebody who brokered a deal via his Secretary of State that funneled millions of dollars to the Clinton Foundation. And I promise you, if you go through and you look at where that money goes, you can bet a bunch of it ended up with Obama some kind of way. I don't know how. I'm not an investigative reporter. I just throw out ideas. Barack Obama's not going to let this happen unless something was negotiated between him and the Clintons. There was a graphic of Barack Obama and Bill Clinton playing golf together. And Clinton's talking to Obama, and Obama's got this look on his face like of an inquisitive look. Don't be surprised if that was the day when Bill Clinton laid out the strategy of how the Clinton Foundation can help get Barack Obama set up and isolate him from whatever ills that may hit him. Don't believe for 1 second these people are not in cahoots. They may not like each other personally, but you know what they have a real love of? Your money. That's what they have a real love of. So you've got everything you can possibly have, intrigue, etc. You have Alyssa, you know what, Alyssa Milano, the anti-Trump D-list actress who's broke, you know what she had the nerve to tweet? Why are we digging into this dossier story? What does it matter if it wasn't the true blah, blah, blah? She's essentially downplaying it. And I tweeted back to her, what would you be saying if everything that were happening were going against Hillary Clinton and it was Donald Trump doing it? You know what you'd be saying. She's like, why are we looking into this? We don't need to look into that. There's no reason to look into it. I mean, what's it matter if it was targeting Republicans? I mean, it's no big deal. Yeah, it is. They used it with the idea that that there was something shenanigans going on with Donald Trump, they issued FISA orders to look in all of his people so they could go into their knickers, check out their underwear drawer, as it were, and they found nothing. And meanwhile, we know exactly what it meant. The dossier was a lie. And what did we find out? The FBI funded it under Comey. We find out Obama knew about it. We find out that all of it that was a lie now points back to who? Podesta and the Clintons. And Alyssa Milano, anti-Trumper, doesn't want to believe the reality of what she knows. She knows the reality. And by the way, so do all these other leftist people. Don't let them fool you. They know the reality. And they don't want to face it. They don't want to come to grips with just how crooked this is. They have been pointing the finger of Russia at Donald Trump and saying, we're covering for him. We don't want. Every turn, the Donald Trump Jr. says, look at my emails. I forget the other guy, Carter or something. Look at my emails. Everybody, go ahead. Look at the emails. Donald Trump Sr., do whatever it takes. I don't care what satellite it involves. If they're involved, they'll be gone. Everything on the Republican side says do whatever due diligence you need. Put a special counsel together. You know who they chose? And I warned the people about this. I said, when Comey gave good reports on Robert Mueller, he's an amazing guy. There's nobody more upstanding than Robert Mueller. And you know who's involved in this scandal? Robert Mueller. And what does Robert Mueller do? He stacks the deck. He puts in nothing but Clinton supporting attorneys to go after whom? Donald Trump. They go after Donald Trump, and what do they find? Nothing. And what did I tell you? It's going to spin back on them. And what happened? It did. And now the left go, well, it's not that important what the story was really about. Oh, yeah, it is. So ask yourself a very simple question, folks. It's easy to do. My job is not that difficult. What would the left be saying if Hillary Clinton were the one that we called special counsel on, and she said I didn't do anything, and it was proving at every turn that she wasn't, and then they found out that we concocted a fake document to go after her? What would they be saying? I'll give you just a second to think about it. Okay, forget it. You know what they'd be thinking and what they'd be saying. They'd be saying, no, we got to dig in. But you know what? Fusion GPS doesn't want to give over the data. They don't want to tell you who paid for it. We know who did it now. The Clinton campaign, the DNC, in collusion with the federal government, the FBI. But no story there. No, not for Alyssa Milano, not for Mark Ruffalo. Not for all those leftists who are anti-Trump. Mr. Stupid. He's too stupid to be president. Well, what about Hillary? Is she too crooked to be president? Is Barack Obama too crooked to be president? Wow, man. This is huge, folks. It doesn't get any bigger than this. All of these things are coming to the fore in the era of Donald Trump for a reason. If you understand what is God's handiwork here, you get it, that he is exposing the dirt, the filth that represents the left. And he's asking us to clean up our act.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.